Hey everybody, Jalila T here. So today is a really special day. I'm super excited to talk about why today is such a special day. But I needed to make sure that I hopped on here to tell you guys about it because it just means so much to me. Today is January 11th. I know some of you are like, what is today? It's just Wednesday, January 11th. Well, January 11th means something to me. Okay. So, if you are just tuning in, please make sure that you comment below with where you're watching from so that I can give you a shout out, okay? Now, today is a very special day. It is Wednesday, January 11th. And the reason that it is special is today is the 1 year anniversary that I had something happen to me that changed my whole entire life within a year's worth of time. So, put a 1 in the comments if something happened to you that was drastic, but it turned out to be something good that came out of it, right? So, January 11th last year was a year ago, right? 2016. And 1 year ago, I was 35 pounds heavier than what I am now, right? I had fat face, fat cheeks. A lot of people say I was unrecognizable. I was almost 3 pant sizes larger than what I am now. That was 1 year ago. 1 year ago today, I was battling with how to put an expiration date on my business that I had currently. I was having anxiety because I didn't want to disappoint my team. I didn't want to disappoint my clients. I was eating because that's what I like to do. And of course, when you're battling different things, right, you get depressed, you want comfort food. That's the first place you go, right? So drop a 2 in the comments if when you're like sad about something, your brain automatically makes you feel like you're hungry. Hey, Shelly, right? So one of those things that help comfort me when I'm in those moments of anxiety and food is ice cream and Krispy Kreme donuts and marshmallows and all the things that you probably should not eat. Hey, Desiree. So, I was eating because that's what I like to do, but that was my comfort at the time, a year ago from today. A year ago, I didn't have a full plan. I was living in the moment. I could not figure out what my life was going to be. I just had no 5-year outlook on life. Like hey Joe, I literally was living in the moment. I was living paycheck to paycheck. I was stressed all the way out. I was in a situation where I was being a little bullied by some grown women. And it just wasn't a good time. And dealing with all of that a year ago, right? When I was in that frame of mind and dealing with that stress and that anxiety, it caused me to not think about myself. It caused me to have a brain scramble. Like my brain was literally like scrambled eggs because I couldn't figure out for the life of me what Jalila wanted to do for herself, right? So one thing that I figured out, right, is that sometimes it takes something bad to happen so something good can come out of it. So 1 year ago, today, January 11th, 1 year ago, I was terminated from the company that I represented. And I remember it so vividly because I remember I just was out running errands all day, hadn't been online, hadn't done anything. And I remember 5 o'clock came and I said, oh, I need to call the corporate office to sign up a new recruit on my team. I call and my numbers weren't working, y'all. I'm like, what is happening? Why isn't my numbers working? I finally got through to someone and they told me what happened. And I remember the feeling that I felt that day. I felt a sense of relief, right? So drop a 3 in the comments if you've ever had something happen to you where it should be detrimental to you, but it was so stressful that when it actually does happen and it's beyond your control, you feel like a sense of like a weight being lifted off of your shoulders. And in that moment, It was so funny because my best friend was here and he was like, oh my God, what are you going to do? Oh my God. And I just sat here and I was like, I don't know. But I was so like, I'm free. The chains have been lifted. No more drama. No more crazy people. Yes, Joe, I felt alive again. You know, a moment of clarity in my brain, because all of the things that were weighing me down, all of the things that stressed me out, they didn't matter anymore. Somehow, all these things that I thought were so important, how my clients felt, how my team felt, all these things that I was worried about, and none of them involved Jalila, of course, but all of these things that seemed so important until that moment. I got a moment of clarity and I realized none of that mattered. What matters is me. That's the only thing that matters. And if I'm not happy, and if I'm stressed out, and if I'm wearing the weight of anxiety and depression and stress and pounds, I had packed on the pounds. I was wearing my food, y'all. If I'm wearing all of that, then that is hindering me from being me, right? And hindering me from being happy, and hindering me from being a better person. So I say that to say that January 11th is a year. This has been a year since that day. Since that day where I had a moment of clarity. Since that day where I felt like I finally got a sigh of relief, where there was hope for me. Since the day that I had to start my income over from zero, zilch, nada, nothing. Okay? So, you know, this day is very special. It's very special because, you know, a lot can happen in a year. And a year ago, there were things that I did in this past year that I never thought that I would do. I have jumped off things into water, in exotic waters, right? There were some things I didn't jump off, but there were some that I did. I have learned what spelunking is. Spelunking. Yes, I did that. I crawled through a little hole and cave and waterfall and walked down a waterfall. I did that in 2016. You know, it amazes me the amount of growth once you open your eyes and you're able to experience something. So, you know, it took a force of nature to push me out, but to push me to a level of uncomfortableness that I would conquer. And I'm really, really proud of myself. You know, a year ago, videos. Oh, let me tell y'all, Jalila was scared of judgment. It sounds crazy. In your face, I really don't care, right? But the idea of being recorded, the idea of people judging me, how I talk, how I look, and you could play it back and you could rewind, that scared the hell out of me. Okay, so drop a 4 in the comments if there's ever been something that you've been super, super, super scared of, that people keep saying you need to do this, you need to conquer it because it could help you grow, right? So it took 3 months for people to convince me to do videos. 3 months, y'all. And finally one day I just said, you know what? Forget it. I'm going to rip off the Band-Aid. I'm going to do this. If everybody is saying I need to do this, let me just try it. And usually when I do that, it's to prove people wrong. So this is one of those things that I did that backfired. Now I can't stop, okay? But the moment that I decided to rip that Band-Aid off and start going live and start doing videos, right? The amount of feedback has been amazing. People are just wanting help. You impact people in such a different way. And one of the things that I realized through this process is that I love to teach. I love to teach and I love to help people. And I think I was so fixated on doing it with that company that I couldn't think outside of that box, right? So that's another lesson. You have to learn to get creative, right? Don't put yourself in a box. You can go outside of it and you can still achieve that. So through the use of Facebook Live, through the use of video, this is my own creative way to be able to make a contribution to the world and still teach people things and share my gifts, right? So I'm not scared of the judgment anymore. That's a fear that I was able to overcome. It's a fear that I was able to conquer. And let me tell you, I've got a lot in store for 2017. I'm super excited. I can't tell you guys everything, but just know that the level of growth this year is going to be on another level. Okay, like y'all don't even know how pumped I really am over here. And it's really, really hard for me to keep my little trap shut until it's time for me to tell you. But I'm at this point now where I realized that 2015 I spent just trying to figure out who Jalila was and what it was that I wanted, right? So I tell you guys all the time, if you want to figure out, you know, where you're going to go, you got to figure out who you are first and what's going to make you happy, right? So 2015 was my year of discovery, right? And I battled with that. I battled with that for 2015. 2016 was this past year was my year of growth. I tried lots of new things. I jumped off things. I made some mistakes. I conquered some fears. I got rid of the last set of toxic people and energy in my life. I got fired a year ago today. I got fired, right? And I started all the way over. All of that happened. All of that and more happened in 2016. I traveled for free 1, 2, 3, I don't know, like 4 times. Come on, y'all. Like, seriously? It's amazing what you can do when you open your mind and step outside the box and you push yourself. So figure out what kind of year this is for you. 2015 was my year of discovery. Maybe you're in a year of discovery. Maybe you need to figure out who you are, where you're going, what you want. Maybe you just need to take all those wonderful ideas and just jot them down in a notebook until you can prioritize and sort them out and figure it out, right? So that's the year of discovery. Last year was my year of growth. Maybe that was, that was the year for me to try a bunch of new stuff. Push myself to the limit. Try a lot of things that made me feel liberated, make me feel whole again, make me feel happy. Just worry and focus on Jalila and what makes her happy. Maybe this is your year for growth. Maybe that is you, right? So drop a comment below if you feel like you might need a year of discovery or you need a year of growth. But you just do these things because you need to get it done. The sooner you go through these phases, the sooner you can go to the next step. So 2017 is my breakout year. I know it. I feel it. It's coming. I'm putting things in place. I know that there are going to be new things in all aspects of my life. I totaled my car in December. I have to get a new car. That's number one. New. Right? Everything for me this year, I'm on some new stuff. It's okay. I'm embracing it. At first, I was a little startled, right? That's right, Joe. We're breaking out together. This is my year of breaking out. This is my year to excel. This is my year to make lots more money, create different income streams. This is my year to fine tune and perfect my new crafts, right? My year to launch a new business. This is my year to really shake things up and make some things happen. And that could be you too. So I just wanted to get on here because I thought that was necessary to share, because today is a very, very, very special day for me. Because had that have not happened to me, I don't know that the level of growth that I reached in the past year, I would have reached. I wouldn't be doing live videos. I would still be tired. I would still not have a life. I would still be lugging inventory. I would still be getting bullied and people being ridiculous. I would still be underpaid and overworked. There are these things, and I still probably would have been 35 pounds or more overweight. So, I'm very grateful for the things that happened to me, because I know out of everything that happens, whether it's good or bad, there's something else that's going to come out of it, especially the bad. When there's a storm, what comes next? The sun, right? The sun always comes after a storm. And you got to believe that if this is how you're feeling. So, I challenge you to figure out what your last year was to you. Ask yourself what you learned from it. What positives came out of it? Then look at that year, the year ahead, right? We just started. So you still got plenty of time to figure this out, right? That's right. A rainbow comes, Joe. You're absolutely correct. So once you look at this year that we already started, I want you to figure out what you want to happen this year. What do you want your life to look like? What do you want to come out of it? What do you want to learn? How can I make my life better and maximize this year to the fullest, right? So ask yourself some questions, challenge yourself, really give it some real thought and take it seriously. And if you do that, I promise you'll have a winning 2017. So, you know, if you love what you heard, drop a 10 in the comments. This is 10. This is 5. This is 10. Drop a 10 in the comments below. I hope that this is an amazing year for each one of you. If you need me, I'm here. Feel free to send me a message. If you love what you heard, feel free to like, comment, share, because sharing is caring, right? You can give us some of these. You could give us some of these. Light it up with a fireworks show. I am Jalila T. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.